You can take that fake apology and shove it right up your hairy...
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello. Hello, hi. I really commend people who wear nails every day. I don't know how they do it. ASMR. I put on nails, I don't know why, because it's almost 3 a.m. Today, I want to talk about fanfiction. Let me talk you through my thought process. I want to use YouTube as my visual diary. If no one sees this, at least I'll have fun making it, you know? And if you do and you share my sentiments, awesome. When I discovered Holy does stuff at like, I don't know, the ripe age of something, if you see my wig cap, be nice. Maybe find the kindness in your heart and be nice, because I'm already crashing out. I'm currently being rage baited by life. It feels like everyone is in on a joke that I'm not part of. I was saying Coley does stuff when I discovered her, and like when she was making like BTS fan videos reacting to BTS, and then she went on to do like the fan fiction and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so paced. And then I found Izzy's, like those fandom videos, I'm like, oh my god, you're so based. And then I found Deb Smickle. Literally, what can I say? You are me, I am you, we are us. You know, I feel seen. If no one sees this, it's fine. It's whatever. I've wanted to make like YouTube videos just like for a long time, but I was taking it really seriously, and I'm like, I'm gonna post like art and speed paints. And I did record something where I was doing an oil painting, but the oil painting pissed me off. It was the first time I'm using oil paints, and that was the whole video, like, join me as I try oil paints for the first time, and it irritated me. And I hated it. Live, laugh, love acrylics. So I haven't finished that painting, and it's rotting upstairs. I don't think that video is ever gonna see the light of day. And I was also gonna post animations because I'm an animation student. My pinky nail came off. Ignore that. But animations take time, and that's something that I do not have because of animation school. I also have lupus. That's why I'm doing this. I'm ranting, I'm yapping instead of doing like a full art video or video essay, which this is not a video essay. This is a deep dive, but it's just the deep dive of my brain's information on fanfics. Like, the video will end when I have nothing else to say. If my bangs look fucked up. I just want to talk about something that's not too serious, okay? I have lupus, so I'm doing something that's low effort and low energy, and I'm just gonna yap, and I hope you listen. I did make a list, like a vague outline of what I'm gonna talk about, because I was gonna forget everything. Self-inserts, Wattpad, AO3, Tumblr, which I know people left Tumblr because of a certain incident, but I still think it's top tier. In terms of writing, you can find some gems on there, like consistent gems.
Right.
And I think people should give Tumblr its flowers. Anyways, that's basically what we're gonna talk about, you know? Old stuff related to fanfiction. Originally, this video was supposed to be like fandoms in general. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about specifically fanfiction, because I feel like fandoms can be talked about in their own right. You know, there are some pretty notorious fandoms, and I think that's beautiful. Okay, let's talk about fanfic. Let's rewind time like a little bit, like the dawn of fanfiction, which I wouldn't know. If someone would like to inform me of the beginnings of fanfiction, I would actually very much like that. Feel free to info dump. But like, I think what like launched it into the zeitgeist was Wattpad. Y'all remember Wattpad? Those were the days, you know? Those were the days of like insanity, I think, actually. I personally had a Wattpad account, and I posted one about the Mad Hatter's daughter in Descendants. And I was ahead of my time. I was ahead of my time because what did they do with Descendants? The latest one. I don't remember which number it was. Was it 4? I have words to say about that film. And they're not good ones. But I was ahead of my time because Wonderland and Descendants. I was ahead of my time. I also wrote the beginnings of a Sans fanfic, which, by the way, I would say in terms of fanfic, because, you know, we have the many wonderful tags. We have self-insert, we have X-reader, we have OCs, we have crossovers. Girl, I have a lot to talk about. In terms of like specifically AU's alternate universes, I think Undertale is unbeaten. It's unbeaten because there's so many. Under Swap, under Fell, in terms of the fanfic, they were ahead of the curve, you know? No one was doing it like them. I do think that Undertale, in that specific vein, is kind of the king of that. Like, there were so many, diva. There were so many. And I liked it. There are many genres of fanfic readers. And you know who scares me? The people who read Angst for comfort. Are you well? I feel like the answer is probably no. Listen, amazing new opinion. Fanfic and reading stories can be an escape from the harsh reality that we all live in and exist in and are a part of. Like, it's an escape for people. And my question is, you know, it's something that you do in your downtime to relax. And some people choose angst as their main course, as their main meal, as the thing that they indulge in most often, which is crazy. Listen, for me personally, when it's the characters that I love, I mean, depending on whatever media you're watching, but there's always some kind of conflict in media, you know, because there's a storyline and you need to have that point of conflict, a situation, because we can never just have peace and happiness in the world. And whenever I get attached to a character, this goes for people's OCs too, actually, like personal OCs. Y'all love putting them through trauma. What's that about? Let them live. Let them be happy. I have many mutuals on all of my platforms who love putting their OCs through the worst. Anyways, this is about fanfic. So when I love a character, and I've even made fan art of this, I like to fix it. You know, like those fix it fics, which actually I don't read them that often, but like I like seeing them happy and in love, you know? But some people like seeing them in more pain. I'm not judging you, because honestly too, you know, it's fun to be like, sometimes you kind of need to experience like a little bit of ache and pain. And it's actually better when it's in fanfic because it's not canon. Because sometimes they do things in canon that's perhaps even worse, that was their fate. And that's in terms of like favorite character dies in the narrative. Like major character death is one of the tags. The opposite of that is obviously fix it fix or actor AU. And then in terms of like angst when it comes to X-reader, what are you going through? Like, what are you? Like, you want to experience pain. I mean, I get it. Girl, why do you think I know about them? When I was a young 13-year-old lass, right, you know, I would read these fics where it's like, oh my god, I was a character and you loved me and I died. Very much an indicator of mental illness, very much an indicator of depression. Very much an indicator of, you know, kids who were not given attention and, you know, want that attention. It's like, if I died, would you care? You should maybe get on meds, you know? I hope most of the kids that did that when they were 13 did get on meds, hopefully. What are you on? Because I'm on fluoxetine. Okay, so there's that part of the angst. The other part of the angst is in terms of love story. On the romantic side of things, there's your favorite character cheating on you, which, see, I understand wanting to put yourself in that fantasy situation. But me, when I read those fics, because I consider myself a connoisseur of every kind of fic. I think I've read a lot. And this video might be exposing me, you know, me personally when I read those those kind of fics, right? It gets very personal. It gets very personal, and I get very angry. And I understand, like, people like reading those fics. I'm sorry, there's hair in my face. People like reading those fics, and I don't blame you. I got nothing going on in my life. Well, that's not a request for some shit to happen, okay? But what I mean is, like, like, romantically, sometimes you have nothing going on, and sometimes, or things are, like, going well and I hope it's going well for you. But sometimes you just want to experience a little bit of drama, like cheating, or they're in love with another person, like another character that's in the franchise. As I was saying, it gets a little too personal for me. Not because I've experienced cheating before. Thank God. Hallelujah. I'm reading this fic, and it could be my favorite character, and they could be, like, completely out of character in the fic or whatever. But I'm like, you cheated on me? Why did you do that? Why? I know someone else wrote you to be this way, but why did you do that to me? Why did you do that to me? Even if it's with, like, another character, like, from canon, why did you do that? I'm mad now. I'm offended for that. Like, why did you do that to us? Or any kind of betrayal, It's like, so you cheated on me. You betrayed me. You collabed with my enemies. You worked together with my enemies to bring me down, to break down my spirit and my soul. You ratted me out. You framed me for a murder that I did not commit. It's like, I feel that betrayal in my heart. I get heated. Sometimes when you have to, like, just, like, put the phone down and you're like, it's not real. On the flip side, I also get mad when YN, your name, the iconic diva, when YN does something that I would not do. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I wouldn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I put myself in the shoes of YN, It's like, whatever the character is, I can act. I can act a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly, it's never going to be exactly you, So sometimes it's like, okay, I'm more meek this time, or I'm more mean this time, or I'm mysterious and I'm quiet, or I'm a nerd. The many faces of YN. Be like, why did you do that, diva, sister? They're kind of a character within themselves, like YN, because, it's not exactly you completely. It's like, sidebar, why did you do that? Why did you make me do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? I would never do that. And then I'm reading the consequences in the story of actions that I did not commit, and that I did not permit, and that I do not support. And I'm being flamed for them. What does they fuck me for? Like, back to Wattpad, because I have more things to say about that. We've kind of lost our way. We've lost our way a little bit. My guilty pleasure fics, because, like, there are, like, song fics, and there are, like, chat fics. Chat fics were my guilty pleasure, bro. Like, sometimes I revisit them. Maybe Haikyuu or My Hero Academia, or it's a different universe where they're, like, YouTubers or something, and, like, they find you on Instagram and you get added to a group chat, and, like, the chat fic ensues. Girl, another nail came off. I lived for that, diva. That was my shit. This is in general for, like, Wattpad fics. I loved it when they would give you, like, an outfit at, like, the beginning of the page. I loved it when they would give you, like, the outfit, or, like, they put the song there. And actually, let me tie this into current events. I did, like, a listening party to Taylor Swift's newest album with my friends. First Taylor Swift album that we ever listened to. Say what you will about that album, some of those would hit in the 2000s. On Tumblr, on a song fic. What was that one line? The one where she's like, I have been afflicted with terminal uniqueness. Would have gone platinum. Would have gone platinum on Tumblr. It would have gone platinum in my house, actually. Like, when I was younger, that would have turned me into a Swiftie. If I heard that when I was 13, would have changed my life. I don't know if you guys listened to Elizabeth Taylor on that album, but that would have gone so hard with AMVs. That would have gone so hard with like animatics, bro. Like with OCs, with the gotcha edits. You don't understand. Like, it would be so fire. Like, if you don't know this song, it's like, I forgot the lyrics, but it's like I cry my eyes violet, which Alexandria's Genesis, guys. Guys, it would have been perfect for the 2000s. You know how things are like sometimes ahead of their time and they weren't appreciated then, but they're appreciated now. This is past its time. That's a crazy thing to say, actually. I mean, I stand by it, but also I retract my statement. I think it bangs if you think of it in like a 2000s point of view. You know, like the hot milk animation era. Like she kind of, if it was that, it would eat. Oh, Wattpad, yeah. What were the trends? I got sold to One Direction. Why were we doing that, actually? Like, something was deeply wrong with us. You know what I mean? Because, like, human trafficking. I was sold, and then I was adopted by. Did you guys just have, like, really bad relationships with your parents? Or, because why was that the lane that we went on? We really loved toxic relationships back then. I mean, some people still do. That could be your bread and butter, you know? That could be, you like a little bit of, like, in your fics. It would also be, like, the son of the mafia boss, or, like, the mafia boss himself kidnapped me and took me and loved me because I'm single. SINGLE, let me. You know what fanfics in the 2000s like really had right? Rare pairs and crossovers. Back then we really knew what we were doing with those. Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. Holy peak, bro. In fact, bring that back. Right now. Now listen, I wasn't a Jack Frost and Elsa shipper. I wasn't a Jelsa believer. What I was, and I was in the minority apparently, I was a Merida shipper. Merida and Hiccup. I just, like, imagine if Merida discovered dragons. Like, there was just something really beautiful about it. And there were like no fics on it. That's the really heartbreaking part about being part of like any fandom. Sometimes it's such a niche fandom that you go on AO3, you're pure of heart, you're so full of whimsy and joy and optimism, and you type in whatever fandom, whatever tag, and there's nothing. Or there's like 2 fics. And neither of them are finished. And especially when it's like an old media and you know it's not going to get a resurgence. Please can we bring back like crossovers? Please can we bring back crossover episodes? Like, I'm so serious. Abbott Elementary did it. Also, I've been seeing a lot of Roderick X Regina, and I like that. We're being creative. And one thing that we moved on too quickly from, you know, like, when I talk about crossovers and rare pairs, that whole thing with Disney princesses and JJK men, I kind of want more of that. I want like expanded universes. Like, I want lore. I really want lore. Specifically, cause okay, like a surprising thing from that, there is hair. A surprising ship from that I loved, and like I loved that Twitter loved Nanami and Tiana, and I was very much a fan of that. I enjoyed witnessing the art of that, like, you know, come to fruition. I loved observing, and I talked about this on TikTok because truly it baffled me, but also I want to know more. I need to know who started that, who came up with this idea. The idea of Gojo. Killua was the son, Gojo was the dad. Who was the mom? I forgot. But I do know it was Sukuna and Cinderella. And they were in a toxic relationship. And their son was Bakugo! I saw a video where it was Sukuna and Cinderella, and their son was Bakugo, and I'm like, right. The concept of Bakugo Katsuki being Sukuna's son. They kind of cooked, but Cinderella was there. I'm like, she's been through enough struggle, and now she has to deal with that man. I personally would not want to be isekai'd into that universe. Who was Gojo? Was it Elsa? I think it was Elsa. I think it was Gojo and Elsa, which you guys, I think it's a bit unoriginal to keep shipping people with white hair together. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's take a minute to think about how they would feel about this. Okay? I wasn't a Jelsa truther, but the AMVs, like the edits, were like really good. Like I can't even like they were so good. And I was such a fan. But why Sukuna? I have beef with him. You know who else I have beef with? I could make a video on characters that I fucking hate. One of them being Jake Sully from Avatar, not Jake Sully from Monsters Inc. because he's a good character and he has character growth and I loved seeing him grow as a person. But Jake Sully from Avatar. Let's just say I hope he dies in the next movie. Someone write a fanfic where I kill him. Because I hate that man. I hate that man. I hate that he has nativity. He's a bad dad. He sucks. He's a white man with dreadlocks. And I think that's all that needs to be said. What else did I want to talk about? I mean, there's Omegaverse. But also, I don't think I'm qualified to talk about that. I mean, you know, Live, Laugh, Love, Omegaverse. Live, Laugh, Love, Mpreg. There are people who are qualified and who do deep dives on Omegaverse and all of that, and I think that's beautiful. Do I have anything else to talk about? We should have more Mary Sues. We should go back to Mary Sues, you know? I think we hated too much on Mary Sues, actually. Like, I don't blame people for wanting, like, the reader or their OC to be a Mary Sue. Yes, girl, I want to have all the power and I want to be cool and I want people to pay attention to me. Like, yeah, I get it, Diva. We as a society have lost our way and we've become cruel and mean and we've lost our whimsy on the internet. And I think we should bring that back. And I think we should be cringe and be free. And we should stop being mean. We've forgotten our roots. Albeit one of our roots was 4chan, but I think that's a root that we should forget, you know? Do not let history repeat itself. Of course, not just internet-wise. They're all guys. Yeah. We should be freer and cringer. Release your inhibitions. I think I'm all talked out. There's probably a lot more that I could say, but I think I should probably sleep. And I should take this makeup off my face and this wig off my head. And I, your gentle storyteller, shall head to bed. If you did make it this far, thanks for listening and for watching. And I do feel better. It's amazing what yapping can do for your mental health. What's your favorite fanfic? There was one with Steve and Bucky and inappropriate use of something that I can't remember, but someone tagged it on Twitter. That's not my favorite. That's not my favorite, guys. That's not my favorite. But that's the only one that came to mind. Anyways, tell me if you want to. Talk to me. I crave human connection. But yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Live, laugh, love, fanfic.